All right, we're gonna get started. Hey everybody, I'm Saria Finkelstein down here in sunny South Florida with the Lori Finkelstein Reader Real Estate team and Keller Williams. I want to thank everybody who's here, who's actually here today, and everyone who's here visiting us on Periscope to join in and learn how you can rock your buyer consultation and start showing your buyers 3 to 5 homes and getting them under contract. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. We've got our buyers here, and we're going to just go through it from top to bottom, okay? Awesome. Hi, Stephen. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Hi, Renee.
Hi.
Can I get you guys any water or coffee, anything? You guys okay?
I'm good. I'm solid.
Okay, cool. So come on in, have a seat. Thank you guys for coming today. I really appreciate that.
Thank you for having us.
Awesome. So I just want to start off, I want to tell you guys a little bit about me because I want you to know this isn't about me. The reason why we're meeting here today is so we can talk about you guys and what it is that you guys are looking for in a home, so we can find out not just what it is you're looking for, but why it is you're looking for it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, as I said, my name is Saria Finkelstein. I'm the lead buyer specialist with the Lori Finkelstein Reader team. And I'm sure you know a little bit about the Lori Reader team. You see her bus benches and billboards everywhere around town.
Right.
Yes. Right. Well, she is actually my aunt.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah, so it is built off of a family business. My grandma is on our town. She's a rock star listing agent.
Okay.
So it is built on a family business, and we love working with families. So I really am so excited to get here to work with you guys today. And you guys are first-time home buyers, right?
Right,
We
yeah.
are. Awesome. So that's my specialty. That is what has my heart. I actually don't work with investors because I feel that the thought of helping an investor and possibly taking a home away from a family just completely crushes it for me. So I'm in the business to help families like you guys, so I'm super excited to have you guys here today.
We're excited to be here.
Awesome. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about you guys, and then we're going to start delving into some questions. So tell me a little bit about you. Where do you work? Tell me a little bit about you guys.
Well, you know, we're recently married, about 6 months ago.
Congratulations.
I'm a pharmaceutical sales manager.
Awesome.
So, you know, I'm all over the Tri-County area working with different pharmaceutical sales reps.
So you drive a lot?
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of miles in the car.
I bet.
It's a company car, so it's okay.
Okay.
And my wife works at home. She does IT work, so she gets to work from our home.
Okay, very cool. Awesome. So we're going to get a little bit more into things like that now, but if it's okay with you guys, I want to get started because we really feel that we'd rather ask you 500 questions and show you 5 homes than ask you 5 questions and show you 500. Sounds like you're busy, you're driving around town, so making sure that we're seeing as few homes as possible sounds really important to you, right?
Yeah, I don't have time for 500.
Awesome. Well, good. Neither do I. Awesome. Okay. So we're going to start off. Can you just give me your email address really quick, Stephen?
Sure. Steven@yahoo.com.
Perfect. Awesome. And then do you prefer to get all of the properties to your email, or would you both like to receive them?
Oh, yeah.
Both? Okay. And what's your email?
Renee@yahoo.com.
Okay. Awesome. So now who is going to be the primary contact?
You.
Smart man. Awesome. Okay, so now how do you prefer to be communicated with? Text message, email, phone?
Text.
So always text first?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Awesome. So now you work from home, so are you able to speak during work hours?
Most of the time.
Okay, but always text first,
Yeah.
and once you're available, you'll give me
I'll
a call.
call right back.
Awesome. Okay. So what would be the best days and times for you guys to view homes? You sound like you've got a pretty busy schedule.
Yeah, but I can work my schedule sometimes, but usually after 4.
After 4, okay. And that's Monday through Friday, though, you're available after 4?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, great, awesome. So now, in the chance that there's a property that comes up and it's only available to be seen in the mornings during the week, is it okay if we go and see the property without you? We take a video, walk through the house,
Yeah.
open up all the drawers, doors, everything like you were there?
That'd be, yeah, as long as if you guys can video it so I can see it, yeah. that'd be
Okay,
fine.
awesome. We could FaceTime you, whatever works best.
If there's something where I can take off some time, if you know a day or 2 beforehand, then
Okay.
I can do that. But if not, then yeah, that's fine.
Okay, awesome. Because the reason I ask is you guys are in really hot market right now. And when something comes on the market on Monday, a lot of times if we wait until Saturday, it's gone.
Okay.
And the last thing I want you guys to do is miss out on properties because we're waiting to get you into the house.
Right. Okay.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So tell me a little bit, what's prompting your move? Why now? What's making you guys buy now?
Just tired of renting.
Yeah, we're just tired of renting. We've been, you know, renting seems like forever, and our landlord's raising our rent again for
Yeah.
the 3rd year in a row, and
Yeah.
it just seems like a waste of money.
Yeah, but you're paying someone else's mortgage.
Right, exactly. I'd rather pay mine.
You're a smart man. Awesome. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about price range. Now, you said that you had spoken with the lender. Who did you speak with?
Quicken. We got online Quicken Loans.
Oh, gotta love Quicken.
Right.
Awesome. So, did you give them your tax returns, W-2, pay stubs, all that stuff?
Not really. We just kind of did it online, and they gave us out a pre-approval. But we're good up to $350 though.
Okay. Do you have a copy of that letter with you?
Sure.
Awesome. Well, so, have you taken a look at this letter? Have you read through it?
I just read the beginning, said we got $350, so
Yeah.
that's what I was excited about.
Awesome. So that is most buyers, and that's totally understandable. So if you really look through this letter, what it says on here is that this approval is pending review of your tax returns, your pay stubs, your income, things like that. So in reality, it's so important. I'm so glad you guys are here today and that you're showing me this, because if you had written an offer on one of our listings and you submitted this, there's a very high chance that we wouldn't even consider the offer because it's not a true approval. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So because you haven't fully gone through the approval process, so that's so important for you guys to be armed and ready so that when we do find that right home, you're ready to put in an offer and you can get to the closing table.
Oh, okay. So
Okay.
this isn't really an approval.
It's really not, so it's so important to make sure that you're with someone who's giving you this type of information. I'm sorry that they didn't give that to you, and that's unfortunate. But it's so important for you guys to make sure that you guys talk to a lender who can communicate with you and get you the information that you're looking for, and make sure that they're helping you guys, because especially as first-time home buyers, you want to know what's going on. You don't want any surprises along the way, and you want to make sure there's no hiccups.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So the lender that we work with is fantastic. He's available 24 hours a day, literally. I can call him at 11 o'clock at night. I can call him at 6 o'clock in the morning, and if he doesn't answer, I've got his wife on speed dial. Just saying. That really works out in my favor. And I would
Okay.
love it if you guys talk to him. It's so important for you guys to shop the rate
Right.
and make sure that you're working with the best person for you,
Sure.
because they're so vital to the purchase process.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we can get you that information later. So is there anyone else involved in the purchasing decision?
No,
No.
just us.
Isn't that a great feeling?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So how long have you guys been looking?
Just a few weeks. Yeah, we just started looking on the computer.
Yeah.
Okay, so you haven't gone to see any homes or anything yet?
No.
No.
Okay, very cool. Awesome. So now, when you guys are looking for a townhouse, single family, condo? What are you guys looking for?
Kind of
We're open.
open. Yeah. nothing
All of
specific.
them?
Yeah, we'll take all
Anything.
Okay, well, very interesting you said that. Now, it does say on here you guys are FHA buyers, correct?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is very common that people don't know this, but especially as first-time home buyers, they think, okay, well, I'm gonna go and buy a condo. It's my first home, I'm gonna buy a condo.
Right.
Now, I don't know what the rules and regulations are like in the other 49 states,
Mhm.
but down here in South Florida, you actually do, in most cases, need 25% down in order to purchase condos. Did you guys know that?
Really?
Really?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so an FHA mortgage isn't gonna work with a condo, so we can cross condo off. Okay. So now we're working with townhouses and single families, which is a great option for you guys, and I think that that's a really great place for you guys to start building your family and things like that.
Okay.
Okay, so we can get into that a little bit more too. So time frame. You guys said that you were renting.
Mhm.
When is your lease up?
3 months.
Yeah, it's about
3
3
months
months.
from now. Okay, so we're in March, April, May, June.
Yeah.
Now, do you know when you first moved into your rental if you had paid your last in security?
No, I don't think we did. No.
No? Okay. So the reason I ask this is because when you close on a home, let's say we're in March, so we're gonna find you a home very quickly after we have this meeting. So
Okay.
let's say you close at the end of April, okay? Your first mortgage payment isn't going to be due until June 1st.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so now what I wanna make sure you understand is it isn't 2 full months. If you close April 1st or April 30th, either way, it's gonna be June 1st.
Okay.
If you close May 1st or May 30th, it's gonna be July 1st. Does that make sense?
Okay,
Yeah.
fair.
So that's important for you guys to know, because you don't want to have any overlapping rent payments, right?
Right.
No.
That would be really great to avoid. So if you're done in June, right?
Yeah.
June.
Right. Mhm.
If you're done in June, as long as we close anytime in April or May, you guys are going to be good.
Okay.
So that's important for you to know that it's not that we actually have 3 months to look for a home. We can close much sooner than that and still not have any overlapping payments.
That sounds good.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah. that's a good
Yeah.
point.
Okay, cool. So we're done in June. Awesome. So that's really when we need to be in the home, but we can close sooner than that.
Okay.
Okay. So are you guys open to renovations of any kind?
I
Not
don't think
really.
so, no.
No.
We don't have we have kind of a limited budget,
Right.
and so nothing. We don't want to do anything major.
Okay. So you're open for minimal renovations?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about that. When you say minimal, some people have a threshold of what's too much for them to redo. Is a kitchen too much?
Yes.
They're pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Okay, so a kitchen's too much. Now, what about a bathroom? If you had to change out a vanity or change a couple of things in the bathroom, would that be something you guys would be open
Not
to?
too bad.
Yeah.
They can be done pretty cheaply.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are open to a few things.
A few
Yeah.
things.
So now, you talked about the kitchen. Tell me a little bit about this kitchen. Does it need to be updated, or does it
Yes.
need to be clean?
Mhm.
Updated.
You spend a lot of time in the
I
kitchen.
do, I do. And I like, we have a really nice kitchen now, where we're renting, and I would like to stay either the same or better. So
Okay.
granite countertops, just really nice floor plan with an island.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So how about the size of the kitchen? Is it really typically just you in the kitchen? Do you just need enough room for you?
No, it's usually just me in the
Okay.
kitchen. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Very
Yeah.
cool. Awesome. So how many people are going to be living in the house?
Just the two of us.
I'm going to pause for a second. I just want to make sure that the reason why I asked that is because you're not allowed to ask if they have kids. Did you guys know that? Okay, because it's not considered, what's the right term?
The fair housing.
Fair housing.
Yeah.
We know that stuff. Okay, so you're not allowed to ask questions like that. So you have to ask them in a little bit of a different way, so you can still get the answer that you're looking for while protecting yourself. So that's why I'm asking how many people are going to be living in the household. So great. It's just going to be the two of you guys in the house. Awesome. So this is one of my favorite questions, and it's, if there's anything that you love about your current home or any other home that you've ever lived in, that if you could recreate it in your new home, what would that be?
For me, I think the master bathroom. We have a separate shower and tub in the place that we're renting now, and we've never had that before, and I absolutely love it. So if we can keep that, that'd be
Are you
great.
one of those big men who like take big
I do.
bubbly baths?
I do. After a rough day, I like to sit in the tub.
I
wrong.
love it. Okay, so other than that there's the separate shower and tub, is there anything else that you love about the current house that you live in?
Our kitchen.
Yeah, the kitchen.
Yeah,
It's
The kitchen.
Mhm.
And just that it's updated?
Just
Okay.
that's updated.
So let's flip that a little bit. So let's talk about, is there anything that you hate or dislike in your current home or any other home you've lived in?
We share a closet now, and I hate that. I want my own closet.
Just give them a drawer.
Yeah.
Stuff too.
Awesome. Okay, so we want to try and have a his and hers closet.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I like to call them hers and hers, but we'll let him pretend it was his. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to work on getting you guys 2 closets. So let's talk a little bit about stories. So do you 1 story, 2 story? Does it matter to you guys?
One story.
Preferred.
So now you said if it's the right house for a 2-story it would work. So what does that mean? Does the master bedroom need to be downstairs?
That would make it better. Yeah.
Okay.
If we
So
didn't
if it
have
was a
to do that.
2-story but your master bedroom was down and the other bedrooms was up, it would work for you.
Yeah,
Yes.
that'd be
Yeah.
that'd be fine.
Awesome. Okay, so this is the important question here. Let's talk about location.
Okay.
Where do you guys want to be?
We're open to anywhere, really, in the throughout the county.
Right. Like I said,
Plantation,
I'm
Sunrise.
around everywhere, so it doesn't.
Don't you love when they give you
Hollywood.
that answer?
Yeah, anywhere, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Palm
So you
Beach,
guys are
anywhere.
open. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's talk about this a little bit more.
Okay.
So I know you work the Tri-County area, so being near a highway or somewhere where it's easy access is probably something that's really important to you.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
Right.
So I can get on.
So being centrally located would probably be the best option. So the lender that we work with is fantastic. He's available 24 hours a day, literally. I can call him at 11 o'clock at night. I can call him at 6 o'clock in the morning, and if he doesn't answer, I've got his wife on speed dial. Just saying. So that really works out in my favor. And I would
Okay.
love it if you guys talk to him. It's so important for you guys to shop the rate
Right.
and make sure that you're working with the best person for you,
Sure.
because they're so vital to the purchase process.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So we can get you that information later. So is there anyone else involved in the purchasing decision?
Nope,
No.
just us.
Isn't that a great feeling?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So how long have you guys been looking?
Just a few weeks.
Yeah.
We just started looking on the computer.
Yeah.
Okay, so you haven't gone to see any homes or anything yet?
No.
Okay,
Mm.
very cool. Awesome. So now, when you guys are looking looking for a townhouse, single family, condo? What are you guys looking for?
Kind of
We're open.
open. Yeah. nothing
All of
specific. Yeah, we'll take
Anything.
off.
Okay, well, very interesting you said that. Now, it does say on here you guys are FHA buyers, correct?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is very common that people don't know this, but especially as first-time home buyers, they think, okay, well, I'm gonna go and buy a condo. It's my first home, I'm gonna buy a condo.
Right.
Now, I don't know what the rules and regulations are like in the other 49 states, but down here in South Florida, you actually do, in most cases, need 25% down in order to purchase a condo. Did you guys know that?
Really?
Really?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so an FHA mortgage isn't gonna work with a condo, so we can cross condo off.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fine.
So now we're working with townhouses and single families, which is a great option for you guys, and I think that that's a really great place for you guys to start building your family and things like that.
Okay.
Okay, so we can get into that a little bit more too. So, time frame. You guys said that you are renting. When is your lease up?
3 months?
Yeah, it's not
3 months from
Yeah.
now. Okay, so we're in March, April, May, June.
Yeah. And
Now, do you know when you first moved into your rental, if you had paid your last month in first, last, and security?
no, I don't think we did, no.
No? Okay. So the reason I ask this is because when you close on a home, let's say we're in March, so we're gonna find you a home very quickly after we have this meeting. So
Okay.
let's say you close at the end of April, okay? Your first mortgage payment isn't going to be due until June 1st.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so now what I wanna make sure you understand is it isn't 2 full months. If you close April 1st or April 30th, either way, it's gonna be June 1st.
Okay.
If you close May 1st or May 30th, it's gonna be July 1st. Does that make sense?
Okay,
Yes.
perfect.
So that's important for you guys to know, cause you don't wanna have any overlapping rent payments, right?
Right.
No.
That would be really great to avoid. So if you're done in June, right?
Yeah.
June.
Right.
If you're done in June, as long as we close anytime in April or May, you guys are gonna be good.
Okay.
So that's important for you to know that we don't, it's not that we actually have 3 months to look for a home. We can close much sooner than that and still not have any overlapping payments.
That sounds good.
Wouldn't that
Good
be
point.
awesome?
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
point.
Okay, cool. So we're done in June. Awesome. So that's really when we need to be in the home, but we can close sooner than that.
Okay.
Okay. So are you guys open to renovations of any kind?
I
Not
don't think
really.
so, no.
No.
We don't have, we have kind of a limited budget.
Right.
And so, nothing, we don't wanna do anything major.
Okay. So you're open for minimal renovations?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about that. When you say minimal, some people have a threshold of what's too much for them to redo. Is a kitchen too much?
Yes.
Yeah,
They're pretty
that can be too
expensive.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
too much.
so a kitchen's too much. Now, what about a bathroom? If you had to change out a vanity or change a couple of things in the bathroom, would that be something you guys would be open
Not
to?
too bad.
Yeah, I think
They
that'll
can be
okay.
done pretty cheaply.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
so you are open to a few things.
A few
Yeah.
things.
So now, you talked about the kitchen. Tell me a little bit about this kitchen. Does it need to be updated or does it
Yes.
need to be clean?
Updated.
You spend a lot of time in the
I
kitchen.
do. And we have a really nice kitchen now, we were renting, and I would like to stay either the same or better. So
Okay.
granite countertops, just really nice floor plan with an island.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so how about the size of the kitchen? Is it really typically just you in the kitchen? Do you just need enough room for you?
No, it's usually just me in the
Okay.
kitchen. Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry.
Mhm.
very
Yeah.
cool. Awesome. So how many people are gonna be living in the house?
Just the two of us. Mhm.
I'm gonna pause for a second. I just wanna make sure that the reason why I asked that is because you're not allowed to ask if they have kids. Did you guys know that? Okay, cause it's not considered, what's the right term?
The fair housing.
Fair housing.
Yeah.
We know that stuff. Okay, so you're not allowed to ask questions like that. So you have to ask them in a little bit of a different way, so you can still get the answer that you're looking for while protecting yourself. So that's why I'm asking how many people are going to be living in the household, okay?
Yeah, Matt just said it. Yeah.
So, so great, it's just gonna be the two of you guys in the house, awesome. So, this is one of my favorite questions, and it's, if there's anything that you love about your current home or any other home that you've ever lived in, that if you could recreate it in your new home, what would that be?
For me, I think the master bathroom. We have a separate shower and tub in the place that we're renting now, and we've never had that before, and I absolutely love it. So if we can keep that,
Are you one of those big men who like take big
I do.
bubbly baths?
I do. After a rough day, I like to sit in the tub. Nothing
I
wrong with
love it. Okay, so other than that, there's the separate shower and tub, is there anything else that you love about the current house that you live in?
Our kitchen.
Yeah, the kitchen. Just
Yeah,
the
The
kitchen.
kitchen?
Mhm.
And just that it's updated?
Just
Okay.
as updated.
So let's flip that a little bit. So let's talk about, is there anything that you hate or dislike in your current home or any other home you've lived in?
We share a closet now, and I hate that. I want my own closet.
Just give them a drawer.
Yeah.
That stuff too.
Awesome. Okay, so we want to try and have a his and hers closet.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I like to call them hers and hers, but we'll let him
Yeah.
pretend it was his. Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna work on getting you guys 2 closets. So let's talk a little bit about stories. So do you 1 story, 2 story? Does it matter to you guys?
1 story.
Yeah, we prefer 1 story. I mean, if it's the right home and it's 2 story, it'll be okay, but 1 story is preferred.
So now you said if it's the right house for a 2 story it would work. So what does that mean? Does the master bedroom need to be downstairs?
That would make it better, yeah.
Okay.
If we
So
didn't
if
have
it was
to
a
do
2
this.
story but your master bedroom was down and the other bedrooms was up, it would work for you.
Yeah,
Yes,
that'd be
yeah.
that'd be fine.
Awesome. Okay, so this is the important question here. Let's talk about location.
Okay.
Where do you guys want to be?
We're open to anywhere, really, in the, throughout the county.
Right, like I said,
Plantation, Sunrise.
I'm around everywhere, so it doesn't, you know,
Don't you love when they give you
Hollywood.
that answer?
Yeah.
Yeah, anywhere, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Palm
So
Beach,
you guys are
anywhere.
open. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's talk about this a little bit more.
Okay.
So I know you work the Tri-County area, so being near a highway or somewhere where it's easy access is probably something that's really important to you.
Right, yeah, definitely.
Right.
That way I can get on.
So being centrally located would probably be the best option for you since you do have to travel so much. Doesn't that make sense?
Yeah, that'd be
Okay.
easier, sure.
So Broward County's in the middle, so it sounds like Broward would probably be the best option for you guys. In the price range that you guys are considering based on your letter, it sounds like that would really be a very good option for you guys. Would you agree on that?
Yeah,
I'm
I
sure
think
that's fine, yeah.
How do you guys feel about Broward? You guys have any
Yeah, no,
hesitations or
Broward's
anything?
good,
No.
you're right, it's close enough to Miami if we wanna go down there,
Right. It's 30 minutes
Yeah.
really in either direction so that you can get to all of these things, as opposed to if you're in Miami and you need to get to Delray, it could take you an hour and a half to
yeah,
get there.
That's true, that's a good point.
So it's more time that you can have at home, and I know you wanna spend more time at home,
Yes,
don't
he
you?
does.
Of course, awesome. So let's talk a little bit more about Broward and the cities in Broward so we can really start to focus, because you don't wanna have such a broad range of places that you're looking at, because that's how you're gonna go and see 500 homes, and you already said you don't wanna do that.
Right, yeah, we don't wanna do that.
Okay, so, when you're out west, because the price range you're looking for, if you're looking for a single family home or a townhouse, and you're out east near the beach, the prices are much higher.
Okay.
So you're gonna be sacrificing quality and updates just for the location. But it
Mhm.
sounds like that location isn't really what's that important to you.
No, I
Do you
don't
guys?
care about being east or by the beach or any of that stuff, that's not important.
Okay, so what comes to mind for me really is Plantation. I think that Plantation would be a really good option for you guys. They've got the homes in the price range that you're looking for. They've got easy access to all of the major highways for you to be able to get everywhere for work. And there's tons of stuff locally in the area for you as well, since you're at home. You've got close grocery stores,
Okay.
everything that you can imagine is right there. So can we agree that we should try to focus on Plantation for now?
That sounds good to
fine,
me.
yeah.
Awesome, okay, cool, so we're gonna be looking in Plantation for the area. Okay, so how many bedrooms and bathrooms do you guys need?
We'd really like 3 bedrooms and
Yeah.
2 bathrooms.
Okay, so tell me more about that, what are those bedrooms for?
Well, 1 bedroom would be for us. I need a home office, and then, we have a lot of family coming to town, so we need a guest bedroom.
Okay, awesome, so now that home office,
Mhm.
if it was 2 bedrooms with a den, could that home office go in a den?
It could, but I would really prefer a separate room.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
alright, so that's fair, so if we found something though that had 2 bedrooms and a den, but maybe we could close it off,
Yes.
put a door in there, that
Okay.
could work for you guys?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would
Okay.
consider that.
Okay, cool. What about square footage? Have you guys thought about a number that makes sense to you guys that you're looking
Not
for?
really, no.
You're
I
pretty
mean,
open.
Yeah, I mean, we like a place that has good space, but I don't know number-wise where that would be.
Okay, so that could be more of a trial and error type of thing. When
I
we go
think
and
so.
see the houses, you'll get to learn.
Right.
And it really depends, because some houses, a 1,300 square foot house feels like it's 1,600, and a 1,600 square foot house feels like it's 1,200.
Okay.
It really depends on the layout, so it'll
Okay.
depend on that specific house. So I'm glad you guys aren't honed in on a specific number.
No,
No.
not
Okay,
at
good.
all.
What about maintenance fee? Have you guys talked about an HOA fee that's comfortable for you?
You know, nothing too high. I guess I don't mind paying a maintenance fee,
Mm-hmm.
but just nothing too high.
So what is too high to you? Because that could be different than my number.
I was thinking 250.
Alright. So yeah,
250,
250, 300, nothing
Okay.
really more than that.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about that. So now, if you decide that you are gonna go the townhouse route, a lot of times there's extra amenities that come with it. So myself, I actually live in a townhouse, and my HOA is $300 a month. and that 300 covers the insurance, it covers the roof, the lawn, and the maintenance. So there's a lot of things that come with it. So when I was purchasing, I really weighed out those options to see if it made sense. Because in my head, I was like, what am I paying $300 for? That makes no sense.
Right.
But when I weighed out the options, it really did make sense.
Okay.
So as long as, depending on what the amenities are, it'll depend on what you guys are willing to pay.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
if it covers insurance too, then,
Right.
you know, then I guess it could be
Yeah.
more in that kind of range.
Okay. Okay, that's fair. So, do you guys have any pets?
No.
That was a definite no. So does that mean no pets are coming?
No, that's what
He's
I
never
look.
home, so.
Got it. Okay, so are schools important?
Not right now,
Yeah.
no.
Not right now. Okay.
No.
And this isn't your forever home, as you guys we had talked about previously when we were on the phone.
Right.
So you guys, once you take that step, maybe we would need to move you into another area in case
Right.
the schools weren't
Possibly,
working
yeah.
for you.
Mhm.
Okay. So what about the yard? What size yard are you looking for?
I don't know, a decent size, nothing too much. I don't want anything that I have to do too much maintenance for. But I don't know, something decent.
So what do you want the yard to be used for? Tell me what your perfect yard looks like in a perfect world.
Room for a barbecue. We like to
Yeah.
have family and friends over.
Yeah, we have
Okay.
friends over, barbecue and hang out in the back and have some
Okay.
adult beverages.
So now, you had said that maintenance, that's something that's a big consideration to you, right?
Yeah, I don't wanna have to, you know, work all this time and then have to come home and do all this stuff around the house. you
Totally
know?
understandable. So now, what if it was a large yard, but it had pavers and there was no grass and there wasn't maintenance? Is that something that would work for you?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, cause we don't
Okay.
have to do too much. with
Okay,
that, yeah.
good, so that's good. So let me, in terms of size, look at the size of this room. If you had a yard that was about the size of this room, how is this in terms of size for you? Would this work?
I think it's a little
Little small.
small.
A little small?
Yeah.
Maybe
Okay.
double this.
Okay.
And that could probably work.
Okay,
Mhm.
awesome. So now, if there was pavers but there was a grassy area, is that something you're okay with, or do you want no grass and no maintenance?
If it has some grass, a little bit of grass, that's okay, just not a big yard that I have to do, you know, spend all Saturday mowing. Don't have
I
time for that.
totally understand that. Awesome. So, what about a pool? If you had a pool in your backyard, would that be a bonus?
No,
No.
you don't want a pool.
You don't want a pool. So now, when we're
Actually-
putting in your criteria, do we want it to say no pool?
Yes.
Yeah, no pool.
Okay.
You don't want any pool.
Okay. So, what about a garage? This is always a hot topic.
I want a garage.
I don't think we need one,
Okay.
Personally.
No, we
But-
definitely need a garage.
There's always a discrepancy when
Yeah.
we get to this one.
Yeah, I
We talked
mean,
about this.
So, what do you want to use the garage for?
To park my car in, so I don't have to deal with any bugs or spider webs or anything outside when I park out in front of the house.
Just wash the car, it'll be fine. That's my thought.
We need a
anyway.
garage.
Okay.
We want a garage.
Now, would a one-car garage work for you?
Yeah, that's perfect for me.
Yeah, 'cause I don't care about it, so that's fine.
Okay. So, if we had a two-car garage, that would really just be a bonus.
Yes.
Awesome.
Now, if we do have, just a one car, the driveway would have to have, you know, 2 spots because I don't have to keep moving out, she has
Oh,
to come
yeah.
out, that type of stuff.
Totally understand.
Mhm.
Okay. Awesome. What about a water view? Would that be a bonus?
It'll be a bonus,
Bonus,
but
nothing
not
important.
necessary.
Is there anything that I missed?
Not that I can
No.
think of.
You asked a lot of questions. I think
Yeah.
you got it.
Okay, good. Well, if you
Feedback
think of
code.
anything that I missed at any point, you guys can go ahead and let me know, okay?
Mhm.
Alright, perfect.
All right, so now, all of this stuff is great, okay? This is our perfect world right here. This is
Yeah.
all of your wants,
Yes.
okay?
Okay.
So now what I wanna talk about with you, I wanna know what your 5 must-haves are. Your non-negotiables, if the house doesn't have it, you're not buying it.
Okay.
Double closets. His and her
Okay.
closets.
What else?
The 3 bedrooms. We do
Okay.
definitely need the 3 bedrooms.
3 bedrooms or 2 with the den, right?
Right, yeah, if it's,
Mhm.
yeah, 2 for the den, can work.
Yes.
Your kitchen.
The kitchen,
Okay.
We need your upgraded
Mhm.
kitchen.
Anything else?
the backyard space.
The yard space,
Mm-hmm.
and then, carpets for her. She has
Yeah,
really,
no
really bad
carpet.
allergies. Yeah, so no carpet.
I totally understand. A
Mhm.
lot of people have bad allergies down in Florida. But let me ask you a question. If we found the perfect house for you,
Okay.
it was in the heart of Plantation,
Mhm.
great easy access to the highways, it had 3 full bedrooms for your den, it had a great backyard that was pavered, it had the 2 closets, and there were 2 bedrooms that had carpeting. Are you not gonna buy it?
Well, no, we'll buy it.
No, we'll buy it, yeah.
We'll go carpet.
Okay,
If
good.
that's everything else, then yeah,
Yeah.
we'd be fine with that.
Okay, good. So then is it safe to say then that that's not a must-have? Because that's something we can fix.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Okay, so we're not gonna put that down there.
Okay.
You're actually ahead of the ballgame. Most people, when we get down to this, really only have 3 must-haves.
Oh, okay.
So now, if there's anything that you wanna add at any point, we can do that, or if there's ones you wanna eliminate. Once you start going out and looking at properties, you might realize, oh wait, there is something else that I need.
Okay.
Or there is something else that I could live without. Just let me know, and we can
Okay.
update it.
All right, perfect.
Okay? Awesome. So, before we start putting in your criteria into the system, I wanna go over the home purchasing process with you, because here on our team, we like to really take more of a consultative and educational approach, especially with our first-time home buyers, because I wanna make sure that there are no surprises and you know exactly what's gonna be happening next,
Okay.
okay? Now, that being said, if you ever have questions, you can always call me, but this is just so that you have an idea of what's gonna be happening. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Yes.
Perfect.
So we're gonna go through this right here. Okay, so the first thing on the list is going to be that you're gonna select a real estate agent. And that's me. So you did that. Congratulations, guys.
Okay.
Awesome. And the next step, which you've already started, is obtaining financial pre-approval. So we've
Right.
already discussed how important that is for you guys to do.
Mhm.
So after our meeting, I'm gonna make sure that you get hooked up so that we can get that going and start going to see properties as soon as possible.
Okay, perfect.
Next thing, you're doing it right now. We're analyzing your needs in a buyer consultation. And you
Okay.
already know the importance of that, so we're gonna keep going. Next, we're gonna select the properties, okay? So we're gonna go in and we're gonna input all of the criteria that we just discussed into our system. So you can help me make sure that we've got everything the way that you want it to. We can draw out a map of exactly where you wanna look, so that we can make sure that everything that we're sending you and everything that I'm looking up for you is what you're looking for.
Okay.
Okay? So after we do that, we're gonna narrow it down to the ones that you wanna see, and then we're gonna go and view those homes. Now, when you go and view those homes, you're either gonna be seeing them with me, or you're going to be seeing them with one of my showing partners. So the reason why I let you know that is, as I told you, I'm a buyer specialist, so all I do is work with buyers. And a complaint that we get quite often from people who've worked with other realtors in the past was that they weren't available. They kept missing out on houses because they couldn't get them in to see the house on time. And we saw that and we wanted to fill that hole. So what we did is now I have showing partners who I've personally trained. They've gone with me, they know how I want it to be done, to take you out and see properties. You don't need me to be Vanna White and say, this is the kitchen, this is the bathroom, okay?
Okay.
That's not why I'm here. You want me in the office, looking for properties that match your criteria, writing your contract, doing the negotiations, and getting you the best deal possible. That's why
Right.
you're hiring me, right?
Right.
You know what a kitchen and a bathroom are, right?
Yes, we
Yes.
do.
Okay, good. Pause. Shameless plug. I am actually currently looking for a rock star personal showing assistant. So, if you or anybody that you know, who do you know that I should know, that can help me and help them build a big business, please send them to me at my email, saria@lorireader.com. Okay, play. Awesome. So, we're gonna go and we're gonna view the properties with either myself or my little Vannas, okay? Now, I'm gonna know everything that's going on. They're gonna be texting me while you're out with them and letting me know if that cow smelled, I'm gonna know about it before you call me.
Okay.
So, after that, you're gonna find the house that you love, which is inevitable because now we know exactly what you're looking for, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and write an offer. Now, you guys know you are in the hottest price range in town. And you're looking in South Florida, which is where everyone wants a piece of the pie.
Right.
So more likely than not, you're gonna end up in a multiple offer situation. So I wanna talk to you guys a little bit about how we can get your offer to stand out. Are you guys okay with that?
Sure.
Okay, cool. So we've got 3 ways here that we really help you get your offer chosen. And one of them is by you being here today. Because our team has such a great reputation that when a realtor gets an offer from our team, they know this isn't some Joe Schmo that I found in a Starbucks and I took him in to go see a house. This is someone who I sat down with, who's been fully pre-qualified and who can get to the closing table. And that means a lot to a listing agent, okay? The second one is with a really great lender. So whether it's my lender or a lender that you work with, as long as they're able to give stellar communication and they can reach out to that listing agent and they're gonna call them when we put in that offer and tell them how awesome of a buyer you are and they've got everything that they need from you and why they're gonna get them to the closing table. And they're gonna have tight timelines. So there's a lot of things on an offer and many people think that the purchase price is the most important thing, but it's actually only one of the things that they're looking at. So let's talk a little bit about that. Tight time frames are so important. Inspection period, 7 to 10 days. Anything longer than that is too long for a seller to have their home off the market. And then the other one that's really important is loan commitment time. Most banks can't do a loan commitment in less than 30 to 35 days. So what that date is when the bank is saying, okay, we are committing that we are going to be giving these buyers a loan, we're moving forward towards closing, okay? So that's basically the point when the seller can sleep again and know that the deal is moving forward, okay? Now, our lender does it in 17 to 20 days. So let me explain what that looks like. So let's say the seller's got 4 offers on the table, and one of them they're gonna find out in 17 days if the buyer can move forward, and one of them they're not gonna go for 30. Which one's a better offer?
17 days.
Even if this one's $2,000 higher, this is a much stronger offer to that seller. So whether you're working with our lender or another, I'm gonna wanna make sure that it's someone who can give us a tight timeline for that. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yes.
sure, that's fine.
Awesome. So the third way is my favorite way. So I am the total cheese ball on our team, and everyone will tell you that. And so my favorite thing is I've tested out a lot of different theories over the years to see what really would help, and unfortunately we can't use pink smelly paper like in Legally Blonde, so we had to find another way. And what we do, it's called the cheese letter, and it is literally the cheesiest letter you have ever written in your whole life directly to the seller.
Okay.
Does that work?
It works, okay? So you're gonna write on there that when you drove down the street, you could see your kids learning to ride their bike down that street, trick or treat down that street, learn to walk up those stairs. Literally the cheesiest cheese whiz you've ever seen in your life.
Okay.
You guys are the perfect candidates because you're newly married. So we're gonna post the best picture that you took from your wedding right on that letter. We might borrow someone's puppy, even though you don't like puppies, because everybody loves puppies, and we're gonna put it right on that letter.
Okay.
So when they've got those multiple offers on the table, they're not gonna vary that much. The prices are gonna be similar, the terms are gonna be similar. So at some point, it's gotta get emotional, okay?
Right.
Now, if it's a foreclosure or a short sale, mainly a foreclosure, they don't care how cute you are, how fluffy your puppy is, it does not matter, okay? Those things are not gonna matter here. But if it is a family selling a normal equity sale, this is gonna mean so much to them because they raised their family in this home.
Right.
And they want it to go to another family who's gonna recreate the memories. Oh, I've got tons of lines for you, don't worry. Okay? Who's gonna recreate the memories that they had here, and that's what's gonna help you get your offer chosen.
That's
Okay.
awesome. Yeah, if
Okay.
you can help us write something like that.
Absolutely. I can send you guys some samples actually.
Okay.
So it's always good to start a basic one because we're gonna find that house quickly and we wanna make sure that we're ready to write that offer.
Okay.
So write a basic one so that way once we find the actual house, we can put in a couple extra lines about that specific house
Okay.
Okay.
to make them realize we wrote it for them.
Perfect.
Okay? Awesome. All right, so we're gonna write an offer and then we're gonna negotiate the terms and then I get to bully the agent. That's really fun for me. So that's the best reason why you hire me, okay? Then we're gonna get your contract accepted. Yay, smiley face, okay?
Okay.
That's the best part. I get to tell you, yay, you got your house.
Okay.
Now the hard stuff starts. You thought the hard stuff already happened.
Right.
Nope. Okay, so now we get to really get into the whole deal.
Okay.
So the first thing on the contract is your inspection period. So you're gonna have 7 to 10 days, depending on what we agree upon with the seller. And during that time, that is your opportunity to do your due diligence on that property. Because we're not in a market anymore where you can go and drive around the neighborhood, check out the schools and everything before you put in an offer, because it'll be gone.
Okay.
Especially you're looking in Plantation, okay? So we have to find ways that you can still do those things, and it's during your inspection period. During your inspection period, you are able to back out of the contract for any reason whatsoever with no risk to your deposit.
Okay.
So it's very important for you to understand that, because if you're having some hesitations, but you think that this could be the house, I'm going to urge you to put in an offer. Now, don't confuse this with me being a pushy agent, because I am not that agent. I'm not the agent that's gonna try and push you up in price. If anything, I'm the agent that's gonna push you down in price, because
Okay.
I wanna make sure that you stay in your comfortable monthly payment zone, okay?
Okay,
So
good.
just know that if I'm doing that, it's because I know your must-haves. I know what you're looking for, and I think that this is gonna be a good option for you. But if we don't put in an offer tonight, and you wanna sleep on it, tonight someone else could be writing an offer, and tomorrow you won't have that chance. But if we put in an offer tonight, and tomorrow you go and you drive around the neighborhood and you decide that you don't like it, we can get you out with no risk to your deposit. But this could be your only chance to have a chance.
Ah, okay. All right.
Okay.
Makes sense.
good. So that's really, really important. So during that inspection period, okay, we're going to do a full home inspection. And you are going to learn everything you ever wanted to know about that house and everything you didn't want to know about that house, okay? So as a first-time home buyer, it's a very scary time because you look at this house that you thought was beautiful and perfect and everything is great, and then you're gonna get a stack about this fat telling you everything that's wrong with it.
Okay.
And that's okay. Even when it's a new construction property, they're gonna get a fat stack too, okay? So make sure that you understand that. So I want to talk about this a little bit because I want you to be prepared for when this happens, okay? So when you get that report, there's gonna guaranteed be on there a GFI outlet somewhere that doesn't work, a sink stopper that doesn't work, a light bulb that doesn't work. These are not the things that we're looking for, okay? We're looking for major ticket items that will affect the material value of the home that you couldn't see with the naked eye, okay? The roof, the AC, things like this that really affect the value of the home. Now, if we go to the house and we see that there was a hole in the wall or carpet stains or whatever it is, we saw that when we saw the home and we considered that when we wrote our offer. So the reason I'm saying that is because that's gonna come up in the inspection report. But you already knew that. So we're not then gonna go and ask for that to be fixed or ask for a concession for that because you took it into consideration when we put in the offer, right? Okay,
Yes.
We're looking for things that we didn't know. So does that make sense?
Yes,
Yep.
it does.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So after that, we're gonna resolve any issues. If there's anything that we need to negotiate with them, whether they fix anything or repair credits of any kind, we're gonna resolve that during that time, okay? Now, the next step is going to be the appraisal. Now, do you guys know what an appraisal is?
Yeah, it kind of tells you how much the home is worth.
Basically, yes, exactly. So there's an appraiser who's a third party, and they're gonna come out and they're gonna check the measurements of the home, and they're gonna look at all of the recent closed sales, ideally within that community, and ideally within the last 6 months. That's really the parameters that they try to stick with. Sometimes if it's a small community and there isn't a lot in there, they might have to go out a little bit further, but those are typically the requirements that they're looking for. And the reason for that is to protect you. They don't want you to overpay for a home, because it's a bad investment for the bank, okay? So they're gonna tell you what they think the value of the home is, and there could be a discrepancy, okay? So let's say that we're under contract for $350 and we're at the top of your price range.
Right.
And the appraisal comes back and it's at $345. So what that means is that is, according to that appraiser, the true value of the home. So we have to get the bank to agree, no, excuse me, the bank will then only loan up to the $345, because it's a bad investment for them if they go up to $350.
Right.
So we have to figure out that $5,000 discrepancy, okay?
Okay.
So there's a few things that can happen. One is, in a perfect world, the seller says, oh, okay, that's what it's worth, let's just sell it for that, I'll come down on my price.
Okay.
Doesn't always happen, but it has happened, okay? So that's one option. Number two would be that they say, nope, you said you were gonna pay this much for the house, you take it at this price, or we're done. In that case, you would have to come up with an additional $5,000 on top of your deposit and on top of your closing costs,
Oh, wow.
okay? So that would not be the ideal situation.
Right.
More likely than not, it would be that we split in the middle. So that the seller came down by $2,500 in purchase price, you came up with an additional $2,500. Now, we're not really in a market right now that we're seeing a lot of appraisal issues, but I just wanna prepare you in case that does happen, what our options are, so that you already know and we know what we can talk about at that time.
Okay.
Okay? So while all of this is going on, behind the scenes, all of this is going on, okay? And this is the title company, and they're gonna be making sure that there's no liens on the property, there's no fines on the property, anything like that. They're making sure that you're getting clear title and you're getting insurance on that clear title, because that's very important, right?
Yeah.
So they're gonna be working on all of that behind the scenes. You're not even gonna know all of that is going on unless for some reason there's an issue that comes up, you're not even gonna know. But know that there's a whole team behind you that is working on that, okay? Awesome. So after that, basically, we're moving to closing. We're just waiting to close, and then I get to give you the keys, and then that's an awesome, awesome day.
Okay.
And on closing day, I've gotta let you know, I told you I'm the cheese ball. I do roll out my red carpet in front of the house for you so that you can walk across that red carpet on closing day.
Okay.
Awesome. So I'm excited to be able to do that for you guys. So I'm gonna leave this with you in your packet, because this is gonna have some homework in here for you. So I'm gonna leave this in there for you, so at any point in time, if you're trying to figure out what the next step is, you've got this.
Okay.
Okay? All right, so now typically what I'm gonna do at this point is then I'm gonna go ahead and plug in all of their criteria in the MLS. Because I wanna make sure, now some agents don't do this. I personally feel this is the strongest part of your buyer consultation, and it's your opportunity to really learn what they like, what the style that they like, and things like that. So I'm gonna pull it up. We're not gonna do it now for time's sake, but I'm gonna watch their face. If they make a face like, ooh, I wanna know why. I'm gonna ask them and say, what was that? Why did you make that face? What was it about that house that you didn't like? Because the goal for the end of the day is that by the time we go through all of these houses, I'm gonna be able to say whether it's a yes or a no for you. Because you guys aren't realtors.
Right.
You have other jobs. You don't need to be sitting at home every night looking on the computer for hours for properties. You want me to do that.
Right.
So this is what this is for.
Okay.
Okay, this is also the time to make sure that they're mapping out the exact area that they want to be looking in, and there's no questions because they're doing it with you. They're getting to see exactly what's available. So let's say that they have really tight requirements and you go and you do the search when you're by yourself after they leave and only 5 homes come up. The chances of them believing that there were only 5 homes that came up is very small. So they get to see it with their own eyes. If I put in that criteria and it was unrealistic and there's only 2 matches, they get to see it. And it's not just me, some random person telling them, they get to see it right here with their own eyes. So that's a really, really important part of your buyer consultation. I hope you guys start implementing that because it changed my business when I implemented that. Okay, so we're gonna go through the properties, we're gonna choose the ones that they like, and then I'm gonna turn to them and say, now that we've chosen these homes, you guys are gonna go home, you're gonna duke it out, okay? And you're gonna choose which are your top 5.
Okay.
Your favorite 5 that you wanna see, so I can focus on getting you in to see those first.
Okay.
Because more likely than not, on your first visit, you're gonna find the home. Are you guys prepared for that?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
So it's very, very likely that it's the first home that you go see.
Really?
Yes. So many, many times with my buyers, more often than not, it is the first home because of this consultation. And because we sit down and find out exactly what it is you're looking for and don't have to go take you to see a bunch of houses that don't work.
Right. Okay.
Right? Okay, so we're gonna go through, we're gonna pick those. Now, I don't know the rules and regulations in each state, so I would typically go through the foreclosure rules and the short sale rules and try and scare them away from short sales, which we call long sales. And then we're gonna get into that a little bit and help them deter away from that. And I would go into that typically before we went and did all of these, okay? But for time's sake, we're not gonna do that. Now, I'm also gonna give you a copy of the contract in your folder to take home. And I want you to review it. Most of it is standard Florida contract mumbo jumbo that's you're not gonna be able to change. But just so in case you have any questions, you can ask me. Because I don't ever want you to feel like I'm having you sign something with your hands behind your back and a blindfold on.
Okay.
I want you to always know what's going on and be able to have that in front of you. So if you ever have any questions, you can ask me. And when it comes time to sign the contract, if you have any questions, you can always ask me then as well. But this is just so you can start to get familiar with it. So in case we're in a situation where we have to move quick because a house is gonna go under market, you know what it is you're signing.
Okay.
Okay? So I'm also going to give you a couple other things here. I'm gonna give you, this is our top 10 credit don'ts during the loan process. Please, please read this, okay? This is very, very important. So things like, you're not gonna do anything that's going to set any red flags in your credit. You're not gonna do anything that's going to affect your cash to close. You're not gonna quit your job, you're not gonna go buy a car. All of these things are on here, but they're so important, so I wanna make sure you read them.
Okay.
Okay, just so you know, about a year ago, about 2 years ago, I met with a friend. We sat down, we did this whole consultation. I gave him this same form, and about 2 weeks later, he called me and said, well, I did about 3 things on that form. Are we okay? And I was like, I'll talk to you in about 2 years. Okay, he just closed about 2 months ago.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so
Very
read this. This is your Bible.
We will
Okay.
definitely do that.
Now, I've also gotten here 10 great reasons to buy a home in 2016 if you feel like reading this. So there's just a couple of other extra little goodies in there for you guys too to take home. All right, so I want to make sure that you've got everything that you need. Now, before you go, there's one other thing that I want to talk to you guys about, okay? And this is our VIP buyer agreement here because you guys are my VIP customers. All right, so on here it's going to tell you everything that I'm going to do that's over and above what every other realtor is going to do for you. Basically tell you how awesome I am, okay?
Okay.
So, when you look through here, what it's going to basically let you know is that because I know how much time it takes to dedicate to a buyer, I only work with a certain amount of buyers at one time because I know how much time it takes. So all I ask is that if I'm going to dedicate myself to you guys, that you dedicate yourselves to me as well. And you don't go cheat on me with any other realtors. Okay? Now, that being said, it is not a marriage. It is just an engagement. So if you're ever unhappy at any time, we can rip this up. No hard feelings, no charge to you, but it's never happened, so don't try me. Okay.
Well, full disclosure, we did have an agent that we talked to yesterday, and
Yeah.
we called online, that did start sending us some properties.
Okay.
So I don't know how that works.
So, that's okay. That's gonna happen. But what it comes down to, what did that person say to you? What city do you want? How many bedrooms and bathrooms? Send you everything
Basically.
under the sky?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like 30
So
places.
they can plug some information in like we did and just have an automated system send you properties.
Okay.
Or you can have someone working for you who's hunting for you and going to look for that property for you.
Right.
If you decide a neighborhood that you like, I can go door knocking in that neighborhood. I can call that neighborhood to find someone to list their home that's going to match your criteria.
Really?
I can guarantee you that's not something that agent's gonna do for you.
No, I'd rather work with you.
Yeah. Awesome. So the only other thing that is on here is that we do have a $400 fee. And I wanted to make sure that you guys saw that. And so on our team, we truly believe that you deserve to work with a specialist at each part of the transaction. So when you go to sell your home, we have a listing specialist who specializes in selling homes and marketing homes. When you're buying a home, you get to work with a buyer specialist, like me, who's going to help you get the best deal, who's going to help you find the right property that matches your needs. And then once you're under contract, you're going to deal with an admin specialist. And these people are rock stars, okay? They are gonna make sure all the I's are dotted, all the T's are crossed. If you've got a deposit that's due, they're gonna let you know. They're gonna give you all the information on the inspection companies. They're gonna review the inspection report with you. They are going to do everything that you need to hold your hand from contract to close, okay? And that is something that is honestly priceless. So you're gonna get the opportunity to work with Cynthia when that time comes, and you are just gonna love her and be willing to pay even more by the time the transaction is over, so
Okay.
you don't have to worry about those things.
Okay.
Okay, so I just wanted to make sure that you knew about that. I'm gonna leave this here with you guys to review, and I'm gonna go grab you some cards and I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay, so at that point, I like to leave it there for them in case they wanna review it, if they wanna talk a little bit. 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna come back in and it'll already be signed. Sometimes they're gonna have a question, it really just depends, and you just have to be prepared. Know your objection handlers, know your scripts, know what to say. What's truly important is for you to know, I truly believe when I go into a buyer consult, that they are so lucky that of all the agents in the country, all the agents in the area, how did they luck out that they got to be here with me? And that's how I truly think about it, because they are lucky to be with me, who's going to actually care about what they're looking for and find them what they really want and what they really need, as opposed to another agent who's going to put in their information into a system and just let all the properties roll on in and hope that one of them is going to be the one that works for them. Okay, so know your value. That's so important when you guys go into the buyer consult and when you're trying to get them in for a buyer consult. Because if you believe in your head that having them come in for a buyer consult is a waste of your time, or it's a waste of their time, or why don't we just go and see properties, then that's how they're gonna believe it. I know that I can do a better job for them if they come into the office. And if it's someone who doesn't have time, again, that's just a script. Well, I know that time is really important to you, isn't it?
Yeah.
And saving time and making sure you're not wasting time is really important, isn't it?
Right.
Well, what we found is that by having our buyers come into the office, we can save them anywhere from 5 to 10 hours of driving around, looking at properties that may or may not work for them. And it sounds like saving time is something that's really important, right?
Right.
Okay, so do you have availability tomorrow at 2 or Wednesday at 4? Okay, so there's just always gonna be a script that's gonna help you guys get what you want, but you have to know your scripts. You have to know your questions. If you guys notice, I'm gonna give you guys a copy of the questionnaire that I was asking. Most of the questions I was asking weren't on there, because I'm gonna ask an initial question, and then based on their answer, I'm gonna dig a little bit deeper. I'm gonna wanna know a little bit more about that. Because if someone says, oh, well, I want a yard for entertaining, someone could just need a small yard with a grill for entertaining. You don't know what that looks like to them. So you wanna find out what that vision is. Nikki Ubaldini, when she teaches her Winning with Buyers classes, one of my favorite things that she talks about is how someone said that they wanted a large kitchen. And she says, well, if I didn't ask them, in my mind, I'm thinking of this big luxury kitchen with a hood and an island and all of these things, and I didn't ask them. And then when she did and said, well, what does that kitchen look like to you? They said, well, I just want a 2-butt kitchen. I just want to be able to fit 2 people in the kitchen. So their vision of a big kitchen and my vision were completely different. So remember that it's not your vision, it's their vision. So find out what they want, find out what they are looking for, and get as specific as possible, because that's only gonna help you guys in the long run, so that you're only showing them 3 to 5 homes, and you're not showing them 20, 30, 40 homes before finding the right one. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Does anybody have any questions? No? None? Wow. Oh, I see a hand in the back. Arlene? Thank you.
We had a consultation with a buyer, and she said, well, square footage is not really important.
Mhm.
And when we took her out to a property that everything else fitted her, she goes, oh, this is really small.
So the question is, if you have a buyer who's saying that square footage isn't important to them, and then they go out and they find a house and it had all of their must-haves, and then they say that it's too small, what do you say? That's gonna happen, especially with them. They didn't really know. A lot of people don't have a grasp on what square footage is, and they're not gonna know until they go out there and see it. So unfortunately, that's one of those like rare things that are just gonna have to kind of go with the flow. And then you note it, okay, well, this one's too small, now we know for the future. So if you had any others on your list to go see that were that small, you're gonna eliminate them. Now, you can update your 5 must-haves. You can carry this with you when you're going out to show property, and then you can add on to there that the square footage is an addition, okay? So a little trick that I do when I'm out showing property, the cheese in me, we're gonna go and we see house number 1 and we see house number 2. And then I'm gonna turn to you guys and say, okay, those were 2 great houses. Now, if you had to make a decision right now, which one of those houses would be the house? So that at all times, I know which house is number 1. So then let's say they choose house number 1. Then we go and see house number 3. And then I'm gonna ask them after that house, okay, now out of house number 1 and house number 3, if you had to make a decision right now, which one would it be? So that way there's no question in their mind, and there's no question in my mind, which house is the number 1 house at all times. So I know at the end of the trip, which one I should be talking to them about putting in an offer. Does that make sense? Awesome. Does anybody else have any questions? Yes.
What do you do if after you come back and they're not willing to sign the agreement, or they're not interested in signing the agreement? Do you still consider working with them, or?
So the question is, if they decide that they don't want to sign the agreement, do you consider working with them? Very rarely does that happen. So it's really just knowing the right scripts and explaining to them how it's a benefit to them to sign it. But on occasion, it will happen. So what I'll do is I'll make an exception and say, listen, I totally understand your hesitations. I'm willing to work for you, to prove to you that I'm the agent for you. I'd be happy to take you out one time. We'll go and look at properties. And if at that time you decide that I'm not the agent for you, then we can part ways as friends. But if at that time you do decide that you want me working for you, I am gonna ask you to sign that agreement, because in order to work with me, you do have to dedicate yourself to me. And so you set the tone right then and there, okay? Someone over here said it, yeah.
You had said that you had a couple other things that you put in that you're gonna get done. What is that?
There's just like some, like I've got the contract in here, the 10 great reasons to buy a home in 2016. Depending on the buyer, I might add a couple different things in there, depending on what they're looking for. It really just depends on that specific buyer. Does anyone else have any questions?
I want to say something. If you're working with, like say for instance, the realtor is working with a client, and they already, the loan officer already approved that person.
Right.
But for some reason, the realtor is not doing a good job with that buyer. How could, if the realtor decide, if the buyer decided that they wanted to come over to me or choose me as their realtor, as far as the pre-qualification, how do you get them pre-approved that they were already approved by the prior?
So if they were already approved by a previous lender,
Correct.
but they were working with another realtor and they don't want to work with that realtor anymore. So they're already approved, so I don't need to get them reapproved. I can give them the option of speaking with my lender, because I always encourage them to shop the rate and make sure it's the best person for them. But I'm always going to let them know, listen, I don't want to step on anyone's toes. If you're working with an agent, I don't want to pull you away from that person. But if you decide that that's not the right person for you, I'm just going to need you to let them know in writing that you no longer want to work with them, and then we're going to need to sit down and sign this agreement so that I can fight for you and work for you. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, good. Anybody else? Yeah.
What about these buyers that they're looking something way higher than the actual price range?
So the question is, what if you have a buyer who's looking way higher in the price range? They shouldn't be, because they're approved for a number. If you get them approved before you sit down with them, then that's not gonna happen. You're gonna pull everything up that's in their actual price range, and you're gonna show them, so you can squash that. But that's just you. You're gonna if you're letting them do that, they're running you around. They're out scripting you. So just know the scripts to get them to where you want them to go. Does that make sense? Okay. Yeah.
But to follow on what Brian just asked, what if there's a disconnect in what they're approved to their must-haves?
So again, that's gonna be, they're gonna see it right then and there when you pull everything up. So I like to really, I didn't get into this here, but I like to really talk to them about the monthly payment and how it's the most important thing isn't the purchase price. It's actually the monthly payment. Because sometimes if there's a low taxes or there's a low HOA, you might be able to go up a little bit more in purchase price. But the main thing to focus on is that monthly payment zone. Because you don't wanna have to wonder if you can go out to dinner, or you can go on vacation, or if you can buy your daughter a gift for their birthday. Those are not things that you should be worrying about. And that's why I'm always gonna get you to focus on what the monthly payment is. So when we find a house that you like, I'm gonna send it right to the lender. Find out what the monthly payment is before we write an offer. Because if it's not gonna work out and the numbers aren't right for you, we're not gonna put in an offer. That's not the right house for you. So many people think that the purchase price is the most important thing, but it's not. So make sure you're working with a lender who gets that, because a lot of lenders will try to push you up and they don't have that conversation with you. Our lender, the first question he's gonna ask you is, what do you wanna spend per month? Because that's really what's important. Most people qualify to spend much more than they ever should. So that's why you, as the agent too, have to find out what is their comfortable monthly payment zone. Where do they need to be? And that's your job to make sure that you keep them there. Don't be that agent that's trying to push them up and then they're gonna be calling you to short sale their house. That's not fun. You want them to call you when they're so happy 5 years down the road and they're ready to get their $1 million next house. Right? Awesome. Anybody else have any questions? Yeah, Rodney.
What, on your initial conversation, what kind of questions are you asking to get them into that consultation? Are you digging into the pre-approval? Or are you asking?
So the question is, what type of questions are we asking before we bring them into the office? My conversations with them typically are very, very short. I'm not gonna ask questions until they get in here, because my goal is to get them into the office. I wanna get them face to face. Now, luckily, we're now blessed that in the last few months, we have now added an ISA, an inside sales assistant, so she's gonna do a lot of the nurturing. But prior to that, I was always the one doing the nurturing. So sometimes it depends. It might be a buyer, you know, a lot of buyers, they come online looking for a house a year before they can actually buy. So I'm getting to know them and I'm talking to them and finding out things along the way. But when it comes time and they're ready to be pre-approved and get them into the office, there isn't really much that we need to talk about other than I've got availability in my schedule today at 2 and tomorrow at 4. Which time works better for you?
So you don't want to know if they're pre-approved?
Oh no, they're definitely gonna be pre-approved. I'm not gonna sit down with someone now. If it's someone who wants to talk about getting pre-approved, those are people for your database. Those are people for you to nurture for the future. But I'm never putting anyone in my car if they are not approved. I might meet with someone, but they're not getting in my car, that's for sure. Does anyone else have any questions? Awesome, well thank you guys so much for coming. I hope you guys